Alright guys, here's a battle with Jiro for the win. I battled him before, but never in Underused, and I keep saying this, but Underused is probably one of my favorite formats in Generation 6, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And as I said, this is against Jiro for the win, and it's a Underused match. Here we go. Now, as you can see, he has quite a few interesting threats looking at his team, and I'm hoping that I can do some damage. Alright, so he leads with Porygon-Z, as I lead with Mamoswine. And this is kind of like a tricky lead Mamoswine set. I'm going to just first go for the Protect to see what he tried to do. He ends up just going for the Focus Blast, and that's pretty interesting, because it confirms in my mind that it's actually his Zoroark, since I don't think Porygon-Z can learn Focus Blast. Regardless, I'm just going to go for the Endeavor, expecting to get hit by it down to 1 HP. And I guess that kind of reveals my set, and also kind of breaks it. This is a Fear Pig. Kind of like Fear Rattata, but it's a Fear Pig, and now that he knows what it is, it's not nearly as threatening, so I'm just going to go for Earthquake. But basically, the idea is I have a Focus Sash, I have Endeavor, and I have Ice Shard. So, kind of Fear strats going on. Not many people expect it coming from a Mamoswine. People expect it more coming from a Rattata, so thought I could maybe pull it off, but unfortunately for me, he does decide to switch instead of going for that Focus Blast. And again, yeah, kind of breaks it. Maybe if I just didn't go for that Protect. I mean, the main reason I have Protect on it is to scout what kind of, like, if it's not using a non-attacking move, so I obviously can't do it if he does that. Regardless, as you can see, I can still do work with regular old Earthquake. He goes into Swampert, tries to set up Stealth Rock, which he does do, and after for you Earthquakes, that Swampert goes down, so I can still do work, so take that. I'm just going to go for the Protect to see what move he's going to do, just in case this thing is the Porygon-Z, which is almost always Choice Specs or Choice Scarfed. And, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Ice Shard now to break that Disguise, as well as hope that the Focus misses, but it doesn't miss this time, and it does hit my Mamoswine, which does take it out. But considering that my little, my gimmick set didn't go off, I'm still pretty happy with how Mamoswine did. Did some nice damage to the Zoroark, as well as kill that Swampert, so that's pretty cool. I go into Sceptile now, and I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, because this is my Mega or something, and I think I go for the, Giga Drain, I think? Is that what I do? Yeah, or no, Energy Ball. Same thing, really. I go for the, Grass move against this, little pudding thing, this, Goodra, which, obviously is super bulky. Probably carries the Assault Vest like I like to do, and, yeah, unfortunately, I still have Dragon Breath on this thing instead of Dragon Pulse. I keep forgetting to replace that with Dragon Pulse, but whatever. It still doesn't kill, and it doesn't paralyze either, so that kind of blows. I go into Machamp, and I'm just going to go for the Dynamic Punch, which is kind of obvious. That's what Machamps do, yo. No guard, Dynamic Punch is coming at you. He goes into Zapdos, which obviously takes that pretty nicely, but it also gets confused, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to, I think, stay in and no, I think I switch out, fearing that this thing might have a flying move. I know that most of the time they don't carry it, but I just want to be safe about it. I do have the Assault Vest on Machamp, so I know I can take pretty much anything else the Zapdos wants to do. I just don't want to risk this thing having, like, Drill Peck or something ridiculous like that. So I go into Nidoking, and he ends up hurting himself in his confusion, which is kind of cool. I'm going to try to set up Stealth Rocks, expecting him to kind of to switch out, but he's just going to go for the Roost. Now, this thing probably does carry Defog, but at the very least, what this lets me do is if he wants to try to go for the Defog right now, it will get rid of the Stealth Rocks he set up earlier. He can't actually reset them up either, because I already killed his Stealth Rock or Swampert. So if he does go on to go for the Defog, not only does it give me a free hit on the Zapdos, but it also gets rid of the entry hazards on my side of the field, which, in my opinion, is a good trade. So I'm kind of glad that I did that, despite the fact that he just got rid of my entry hazards immediately. Now, I do go for the Sludge Wave against that thing, which, as you can see, does a lot. He goes into Goodra, which, as I said, is probably an Assault Vest set. Look how well that thing takes the Sludge Wave. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch out into Suicune now, because my Suicune is pretty specially bulky as well. And even Thunderbolt, I'm pretty sure I can take kind of nicely, especially after a Calm Mind. So he does go for the Dragon Pulse. He doesn't want to test out Thunderbolt, or maybe he just doesn't have it. He goes back into Porygon-Z, or maybe it's Zoroark, who knows. As I just go for the Calm Mind, I kind of want to know which set I'm dealing with. I want to know if I'm dealing with a Porygon-Z or a Zoroark, and I think after one Calm Mind, I should be able to live even a Tri-Attack from a Choice Specs Porygon-Z, and as you can see, I do. Don't take it very nicely, but I still do. I go for the rest. to get the recovery as well as wake up to my Chesto Berry. And at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe I can take 2 of those tri-attacks. At least I hope I can. And look at that damage. It does a little more than half, so I'm like, uh-oh, maybe I can't. And then he gets the paralysis off the tri-attack, and then he gets the para-hacks. And I am sad. Fortunately for me, though, it looks like the first one was max damage or something, because now maybe this one was min damage, but I end up surviving, so that's pretty cool, and I do get off a Scald, and I get a burn, not that it really matters on a porygon-z, aside from the residual damage, but yeah, he just goes for another tri-attack, which does finish me off. Kind of sucks losing Suicune there, not being able to get off another rest, but what can you do? I go on to Hydreigon now, and I should outspeed. This is a choice specs Hydreigon. However, I am timid, so I'm aware of my speed category, so I have to play that to my advantage. Obviously, I'm not going to outspeed an Aerodactyl, so I am going to switch out against this thing. I don't really... Well, so I decide to stay in, sorry. I stay in thinking that I can take an Ice Fang if that's what he has. It is his Mega Evolution as well. But Aerodactyl's attack is not... I mean, it's good, but not great. So I do stay in, expecting to live and just trying to get a choice spexed Dragon Pulse off on it. And as you can see, it does nearly kill it. As I now switch out into Machamp, who I know can take an Ice Fang. And I do have Bullet Punch on this Machamp, so that's what I was going into it for. Now he does get the Freeze, and then I get the first turn Thaw again. 2 battles in a row, I get the first turn Thaw. Had to be pretty happy about that, and the only reason he said he stayed in was because he got the Freeze, so... Like I said, first turn Thaws actually help the person getting frozen. He was confident that he can just stay in and do stuff to me. He didn't want to switch out, and as you can see, because I got the Freeze, now I got the kill as well. Now, he does go into Zapdos. I do have the Assault Vest, so I'm just going to see how well I can take a Thunderbolt or a Heat Wave. As you can see, I take it okay. I do go for the Dynamic Punch, and now this thing is confused. I was kind of hoping to kill this thing off with Bullet Punch. Probably shouldn't have expected that to kill, considering it wasn't stabbed or anything, but at Red Health I was kind of hoping, and apparently survived with 1 HP, he said. So that's a thing, and it's back in Green Health now, and I'm sad. And I really don't know what he wants to do, if he's going to go for the Roost or not. I'm just decided to get rid of his leftovers with Knockoff, instead of trying to predict the Roost or not, which, you know, obviously if he does Roost, Dynamic Punch is much stronger. If he doesn't Roost, then Stone Edge is pretty strong. But yeah, he just goes for a Volt Switch, which doesn't quite kill me, even though he does crit. And of course he doesn't get a single Confuse. He didn't hurt himself a single time with that Confusion. Of course, you know, of course. But I did go Stone Edge this turn, figuring he would not Roost from full HP, and it is quite enough to kill the incoming Goodra, so at least there's that. He goes back into Zapdos now, though now that I'm down to 9 HP, there's absolutely no chance in hell that I will, you know, survive another attack, so he does get the kill here. I just go for the Bullet Punch to get some damage before I die, although I really should have actually just went for another move in case he missed, but, yeah, he didn't end up missing anyway, and I got some pointless damage because I'm pretty sure my Hydreigon Specs Dragon Pulse would have killed anyway, and I did feel confident going into Hydreigon, being that most Zapdoses are not, you know, plus speed nature in max speed like my Hydreigon is, even though Zapdos does have a slightly higher base speed. Now, he does finish off with my my Hydreigon with his Zoroark, and I'm down to my last Pokemon. My Nidoking survives. Just barely. It's a very good game. Came right down to the wire. We were both down to our last Pokemon there, and Nidoking was just healthy enough to take a Dark Pulse from that Zoroark, which is kind of impressive in itself, considering Nidoking ain't the bulkiest Pokemon. Today's question of the day is, tell me about your most creative, weird set. I mean, you guys just saw my Fear Pig, my Fear Mamoswine, kind of a, well, what's the word, a gimmick set, but have you ever used a fun gimmick set that obviously is smoking disapproved? Leave a comment about that, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Rate, comment, subscribe if you like this battle, and yeah, hope to see you again next video.